Okay, thanks everyone who has joined us. Much appreciated. So this is the first of our office hours webinars, and they're really just a chance for you to ask us questions live. We'll answer things and show you on the screen how to do them or how to fix, change, tweak, whatever it is you're facing problems with. We're here to help. So we're going to roll these out probably every other week. We're going to do these. Hopefully if you're a new customer as well and you come on board, this is your chance to get questions answered. If there's things you're struggling with, this is the place to be if you want immediate answers, or just having someone technical answer your question rather than sort of reading it in a support ticket. Our support guys are awesome. I'm not saying you don't submit a ticket, but we can just answer stuff live, and sometimes you can learn much easier from that. So it's myself and Kevin. You've probably seen us on other webinars around the forum. So we're both going to be probably answering questions. Anything really advanced and technical, Kevin's going to take lead on that. But he probably knows a lot of you customers, knows your sites as well. So he's going to answering stuff. General house rules are going to be the same. So if you can give us your attention for, we'll probably be running for around an hour. It depends on how many questions we get through. We might not need to go that long. And if you feel your question has been answered, you can leave. That's fine with us. But we're going to run through all the questions we've got. If you could just turn off your devices, social media, stay with us, get full attention, you probably will learn something. So if someone comes up with a strategy they want an answer to, then, we might answer that as well. So, stay on if you want to learn stuff. Like I said, the Q&A session, we will answer questions as we go if you post them in the chat. Sorry, not as we go. We'll come to them at the end. I'm probably going to switch the chat off just because we've got questions that people have submitted prior to this webinar. So when you register to come on here, the form that you see on the next page is where you can ask a question. So people have been doing that. So we're going to focus on those questions first. So just the general stuff. I'm at home as well. Kev's at home. You guys are all probably at home. If you get disconnected, come back. If I get disconnected, the same. I will just reconnect. We'll still be here. Kev will take over. One of us will be still running. So if you get disconnected, just come back to the same link that you did when you joined us. Just a quick, if you're not already the chat is over on the right. You can chat. You can also send us direct private messages. People do. So you can do that as well. That comes through to us. If we don't answer them on this webinar, don't be offended. We will get to them just because we're obviously focusing on the webinar, so we can't always answer questions. Let's just dive straight in, Kev. You ready for these? I've put them all out in slides so we can sort of go through them. If you are on the webinar, and I'm actually going to look through all the people that are on here anyway to see who's submitted questions we might not actually answer because they're pretty more technical and more support related. Okay, so there's a couple of people I've seen already joined, and there's a couple of your questions, so we will go through them. But if they're like for the support team, they're probably not for everyone on this webinar. So the first question up, Kev, I don't know who's going to take this one, me or you, is from Giuseppe. I think I pronounced that right, or Giuseppe. And I did think I saw him turn up on the webinar. Let me just switch back to my screen. So what we'll probably do is we're going to show everyone the question, and then we're going to jump in a bit of screen sharing so we can actually, if necessary, show you doing something inside of OptimizePress, because that really will hopefully, yes, Giuseppe's here. Yes. Okay, so he says, in your opinion, how could you structure a coaching sales funnel to help people to change their careers? So he's obviously a career coach. I would like to put a price of $297 for an hour of coaching where I ask people some questions and later give them a customized report as a customized report, full stop. As a back end, I want to sell my premium training program, which costs $4,970. Thanks in advance, Giuseppe. So, Kev, do you want to answer this one, or do you want me to answer this one?
Yeah, I mean, basically something like that. You would want to obviously create the product in the checkouts plugin for the coaching, and you could have the sales page in the funnel and then the checkout page. And if you want to sell the premium training, you could either do that as an upsell or maybe even send them an email autoresponder after your live coach, or just a personal email, and invite them to take a look at that training program, see if it'd be a good fit for them. Perhaps offer a payment plan with that as well.
Yeah. So I think like with the way it sounds like you've worded it, Giuseppe, Giuseppe. I think what you're best to do is have your initial, because you've got such a high price ticket as your premium product, you probably want to focus, you're probably going to need quite a lot of content. If you're doing a sales page, it's probably going to need to be quite a lengthy sales page to sell a product at that price, depending on your relationship you have with the audience already. So it really depends on how much trust they have in you to spend that kind of money, and what different sequences and email stuff they've got beforehand. So if this was me, I would just have a simple sales page for your 297, wherever that is, which you then take them into an optimized checkout page, where they buy the product. And then after that, I would then, as Kev said, put them into an email sequence, actually. So give the coaching, you give the session. You probably then, if you give in the session, are you going to sell? You could even sell the premium program on the coaching session at the end as well. Then if you don't do that, then you'd follow up afterwards with a, how do they get on, testimonial, and then put them into a sequence to sell your premium training program. So this is kind of a marketing strategy question. So it's not really a techie kind of thing. So the main thing is just don't get too hooked up in thinking of how and what should I do. Just create a page with your sales page for your 297 product with a checkout page. They can buy it from you, and use optimized funnels for that. I'm assuming you are using optimized funnels. If you're not, you'd be best to, because you can then have your order bumps and stuff. But I would focus on that one thing first, and then once you get that working, you can then move on to the next bit. So which would be either selling the coaching, the higher end premium package on a course, on the call. It'd be much easier to sell it on the call if you're already speaking to the person, or you get them on another call afterwards and sell it. Again, that price of that product at that price, you really need to have a good relationship with those people. If you go and look, if you find people that are selling courses around £2,000, £3,000, the sales pages are very, very long, like lengthy. So just bear that in mind. That's generally because cold people land on a page and they have to read loads and loads and loads of stuff and get to know you and build up that trust, see all your testimonials, see all your customers. So, but my first thing would be just getting the 297 going through a little funnel, and then deliver some more training, probably via email, if you sell the higher end package. So hopefully that answers that.
Yeah, another suggestion I would have on that too, since going from 297 to 4970 is quite a big jump, you may want to offer a limited training program as sort of an introduction to the premium training on the side as well. Maybe an upsell or something to get them started, and then if they want to continue the training, to go with the full package. Yeah,
good point. That's the thing, when people are spending, to spend that kind of money, usually if they've spent 297, they've got your trust, they've made that's kind of like a low price product compared to your high price product. But yes, so hopefully that helps, Giuseppe. I think the main thing is just get the first bit going, and then let us see your funnel. Share the funnel with us if you want in the Facebook group, and people look at it. But it's and best of luck with it as well. It's a high price course.
Regarding your comment about the support ticket as well, I've already assigned that to myself, and I'll get back with you either tonight or first thing tomorrow on that, about the pages.
Yes, was that from Giuseppe as well?
Yeah,
on that one. Okay. Yes. Okay. Okay. Let's go on the next one. See, we've got a technical one. We have Adam. I don't know if Adam's in the room. I've not skimmed through the people who are logged in. Let's have a look, see if Adam is here. He's probably not. He says, "Hi, I've built my first course and protected it with a membership. Upon payment and registration, how does the new member receive their access or login credentials? Many thanks, Adam." I'll let you take that one, Kev, if you want.
Oh yeah, definitely. So basically what you're going to want to do is create an integration rule with your product and checkouts, and then the emails will be delivered that's got the logins and everything in it. Let me see if I can share my screen here.
Okay, Angela says that's my question. The email is not sending. Okay, so I think you've got a similar question, Angela. That's fine.
Okay, so if you've already added the integration rule and everything, like in the product, and the email is not sending, that it sounds more like a technical issue there, Angela.
I think Angela might post that in the Facebook group, because I think I just saw that literally a few minutes ago. I'm not sure if that was her. I did see a similar question.
Okay.
Do you want to share your screen, Kev, with this, or do you want to just? I mean, it's
okay.
So you want to just answer it. It's
I think she said she's selling from another platform. So are you using the brand new API integration that we have? Okay.
Okay, she sells through.
Yeah, that sounds more of a technical question here. Is there any way that I mean, we could try to get back with you on this through email if you'd like. I think it's more technical than what we really want to cover here in the webinar. But generally, if you're using optimized checkouts, you would just have the integration rule on the product, and that would automatically trigger the logins from our end. But if you're using another platform, then that would change how that would work. If you're doing the free registrations and you're using our sign up and login form element, then that email should be coming through. And if it's not, we would certainly be happy to check that out for you on a support ticket if you could do that.
Yeah, I think Angela might have posted that in our Facebook group.
Okay.
Because I just answered one. So to answer Adam, like he said, he's got the same issues. Upon payment registration, how does the new member receive their access and login credentials? Many thanks, Adam. So for anyone who's setting up Optimize Mentor and they wanting to know how or whatever happens with the login stuff, generally the best thing to do is obviously go and test this yourself if you can. Like, just go and join, set up your login page, your sign up page, and go and join. Once you're inside Optimize Mentor, here is your email settings. So this is the default template that gets sent out with a member that joins. And then if you're selling a membership, you also have to remember that Optimize Checkout sends out payment confirmation emails. And what it was doing was pulling in parts of this content, the login and password. They will then get appended onto the checkouts email. So if you're selling a membership, they go into the email that goes out inside Optimize Checkout. So if I go into checkouts here and settings, and you'll see email settings here. So the login credentials get put inside of this email if you're selling memberships. So to answer Adam's questions, upon payment and registration, how does a new member receive their access and login credentials? That's how it comes through. It comes through from Optimize Checkouts. You can see the emails you've got here, but when it's connected to Optimize Mentor, when you have a product connected to Optimize Mentor, the login credentials get inserted into the order confirmation email or the order receipt. I think it's the confirmation one. So that's how it's done, Adam. And Angela, James has answered your question actually there with, I think I might have just posted this in the Facebook group. I don't know if that was Angela. I think I said about the same thing with the SMTP. Cool. Please enlarge my screen, Andreas. Yes, I will do. I can do actually. I can zoom in a bit here. So that question's for Adam. Let's switch back to another question, Kev. We will crack on. Let's go to the next one. We have, this has been translated from Paula. I don't know if Paula's on. She's written this. Was it Spanish, Kev? I think it possibly was Spanish.
I'm not quite sure, to be honest. She's in. I just went to Google Translate and it just put it in English there.
So Paula says, I have a low-cost ebook and I'd like to sell it through a funnel, but I don't know which is the best way to get a potential clients, if by direct sales or by giving a lead magnet first. Any recommendations? So there's probably two options with this one. I guess firstly is knowing, are you trying to push direct sales straight to a sales page or generate a lead magnet? So she has a low-cost ebook. She'd like to sell it through a funnel. So Kev, I'll jump on a little bit here. What I was going to just show is our funnels, because I switched the screen.
Yeah. So the one way that I would suggest doing that is You could do a lead magnet. Like, it depends on if the PDF is quite a long ebook, then perhaps you could do the first chapter for free on the lead magnet,
Yeah.
and then you could
Yeah.
go into maybe an email sequence, and then invite them back to the sales page for the full ebook, or even put a link inside the ebook for the full copy of it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's it. I think if you're selling something, you're best to get them into a free offer first. So Paula, if you're watching this back, into the funnels dashboard, you have lead magnet templates. So if you go into Optimize Funnels and you create a new funnel, there's a simple 3-page funnel lead magnet template, which is the landing page, the confirmation, and then they have download pages on. So from here, if we just increase that, we've got list building funnels, which are on here, and lead magnet funnels here. So just click on that one. And inside there's a bunch of different funnels, but you could probably pick something quite straightforward, which is, I think it's about 3 pages. If we just preview this one, this one's a 2. Look, so we've got landing page and then subscriber thank you page. Yeah, I think as Kev said, for that question, I would do the same. I would, if you're selling an ebook, you might as well give them away the free copy first to get them on your list, and then nurture those people, and then educate them, and then send them back to the sales page to buy. Don't be afraid to obviously ask for the buy. So that'd be the main thing for that one for Paul, I think. So come into here, have a look at these funnels. There's a few of them. I think they are mostly 2 pages in here. I don't know exactly. Some of them are longer. But yeah, I would come into here, just take a funnel from here, tweak it. This is a 3-page one, look, so thanks. And then there's a download. So Paula, if you're watching this back, that's what we recommend you do. Give away a free chapter. If it's, like Kev said, a fairly long ebook, then give something away first, get them on your email list, get emailing them, get to know them, and then you could obviously send them back to your sales page to make an offer to buy. That is probably it. I don't think Paula's actually on, but that doesn't matter. We can answer. Let's go to the next one. We have coming this one. This is quite a long question. This is from James, not Mr. Dyson, who's in our chat room. There's a lot of questions in this, so I don't know how we're going to answer all this. But anyway, if you had one product, how would you build that site on OptimizePress, and why? For each step. So there's obviously you could spend one webinar answering this entire question. Are blogs still relevant? What are the best practices when it comes to building a membership site? So all right, that's another. So are blogs relevant? That's one question. What's the best practice for membership site? I don't know if we can answer all these. Do I need a membership plugin, or can I handle that can OP handle that? What plugins would you recommend using with OP? We should put a space there just to break that one. And then finally, my biggest problem is step ABC. Why am I doing this? So I think he's, wants to know really why he's doing all these steps that we're telling him to do above, I guess. Is there a checklist? I can build a checklist to point me to a video if you need more instructions. I'm not sure if James is on. Let's have to skim through these names and see. I don't see. So, I mean, I can answer some of this, Kev. I think generally for this one, if anyone else is the same and is there a checklist to follow to build a site, or a checklist to point you in the videos? Actually being on this webinar is probably the best thing, because you can answer us live about anything. He says here, if you had to protect one product, how would you build that on a site with OptimizePress? So to answer that question, I'd use Optimize Mentor with a funnel that goes and sells the product through Optimize Checkouts. When they buy, they get added to Optimize Mentor. They can log in and download the product. So that answers that question. Are blogs still relevant? Yes. Keep blogging, keep putting out content. That's how I'd answer that one. What are the best practices when it comes to building a membership site? That's a difficult question. Totally depends on how many courses, what you're publishing, how big is your audience right now, where you're starting. That's a really lengthy question to answer, so I'm not going to go into detail for that one. Do I need a membership plugin, or can OP handle it? I think most of you on the webinar will know the answer to that one. OptimizePress will handle all of your membership stuff using Optimize Mentor. So that's our membership plugins. If there's people on here who have not got our OptimizePress Suite, that is what is included in our suite packages, the mentor, funnels, and optimized checkouts. So that applies to anyone. If you're hearing us talk about the OptimizePress Suite, you're hearing us talk about checkouts, mentor, and funnels, they are all part of the OptimizePress Suite. So that's what these are. Memberships is Optimize Mentor, funnels is Optimize Funnels, and checkouts is Optimize Checkouts. So to answer that, yes, OptimizePress can handle all that. And I'm probably not going to, the why he should be doing all this, I think there's a bigger overall question of, obviously it'd be great to know a bit more about his business and what he's in. So yeah, I don't know, Kev, do you have any input on that?
Yeah, like the thing about the last part of this, like having a checklist, we thought about making one, but then, you know, there's so many different types of membership site structures that you could use.
Yeah.
And different types of products and pricing plans. There's just not really a one size fits all when it comes to having a step-by-step checklist. And so the way that I usually do this, at least when I was testing, I would just build the course first and then work backwards from there. That might just be my way of doing things, but you could also start at the beginning, like think about what's the first thing a member's going to need? A login page. Well, let's make the login page. What's the next thing they're going to need? The membership homepage. Well, let's make that. What's the next thing they're going to need? Access to the course. Well, let's go make that. And then even before the login page, you could think, well, maybe I need to set up the checkouts plugin and create the product and test the checkout. I mean, there's not really any set order that anything has to be done in. You just want to make sure that you get everything you need. Go through and test it several times before you launch it. Make sure you invite a couple of friends or close family members that you can get feedback from before you launch it. See if there's anything that's missing that they may suggest something that you might not think of.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like there's so many different scenarios of a membership site, and it's
testing. I think is the most important thing.
Yeah, test it. There was a little mini course we had of the one-page membership site, and which I think appeals to Dennis' question he just posted in chat about paid memberships pro. Yeah, you don't need paid membership pro anymore. You can still use it, but Optimize Mentor is a membership plugin, Dennis. So you can still use paid membership pro. It's a great plugin, but our Optimize Mentor is the full-blown course and protection. You can protect anything on your site. Maybe go and watch a webinar 2 weeks ago. It's in the OptimizePress University, and we can ping you a link to that. Yeah, so this is quite a difficult question. If there's actually anyone who has this many questions, I'll probably reply to James and we'll, say we've answered your question. But there's a lot. Thanks, Angela. Yeah, there's a lot in here that's just based around one thing, lots of why, and he's obviously curious about blogging as well. So this applies to anyone. If you've got time to write content, you should be blogging. You need to get obviously traffic to your site and put out valuable content. Your audience get to know you. It takes time, but that's nothing's. You don't simply make and grow a business overnight just from building a membership site. You've got to build an audience. Let's go on to the next one. We've got actually the next question was actually from Barry, and I don't think he's in here, and I didn't include it in this one. He has a couple of instances of sections and columns and things which we think has been updated recently in there's a little Chrome bug which we updated. So I've not gone over that. It's more of a techie one. Here's a question from Dennis, who we know is in the chat 'cause he's chatting there. Okay, this is another quite a complicated one. He's got 3 home pages working together properly, how to get 3 home pages working together properly. WordPress homepage, the homepage from my previously created version of OptimizePress, which was version 2, and paid membership pro membership section, and my new OptimizePress version 3 mentor homepage. So you've got to get your head around that bit first, Kev. Okay, and then he's saying, is it possible to have all of these working together? I just got my homepage up. I hope you don't mind us sharing that. Dennis, we've shared your link there. But back up and looking well. It's not finished, but better. Version 2 is with paid membership pro, is not working for me yet. I will continue to work on this. So, Kevin, Dennis, we had a look at your site. So brilliant for getting it up and running, getting it going. Kev, I'm just going to answer this first bit. Is that so for me? It's quite confusing, this first question. You've got 3 home pages working together. I think what you need to do with how you've got your site configured at the moment is you should have one home page where your traffic is landing on, or that's the main home page where you present yourself and your products and your, what it is you do. And then from that home page, link through to your various other pages where you want people to go. So if you have a sales page for your membership, you can tell, they can click through and get there. If you have another homepage you built for Mentor or Optimize Mentor, and you've got Paid Membership Pro running as well, you need to decide which one you probably want to use. If you've already got members and stuff going for your Paid Membership Pro and you don't want to interrupt that, then you're probably best to keep that running. And if you've got new members coming in there every day, then keep that running as well. There's no point breaking that at the moment just to go and set up Optimize Mentor, although it's an awesome plugin, but you don't want to start conflicting with what people are doing on your site. So that's my first thing that I would think of. It sounds like you're trying to do too much here and not focusing on the one thing. Kev, what did you make of that question?
I agree. Basically, it sounds like he's talking about membership homepages. So he's got one for Paid Membership Pro and one for Optimize Mentor. If you've already got members that are live, then you're going to want to maybe migrate them into Mentor eventually, because having 2 membership plugins running is generally not recommended for a very long time, maybe long enough to migrate people over to the new membership area. But if you don't have any members yet, then I'd say just go with Mentor, get everything going there, and then test it out, make sure it works. And then that's what I would suggest doing. As for a homepage, I would just go with what David suggested. Bring people into your homepage and then try to get them into where you want them to go, like to your funnel or whatever.
Yeah. So it does sound like you're trying to do, I'm not sure the exact situation there, Dennis. So if you don't have members, then you could ditch Paid Membership Pro and keep it all under one roof. It depends if you've got members already paying and they're on a paid already coming in. And just probably focus on, get the one page going and then have your sales page for your membership. And then you said about version 2, I think you might be talking about the older versions of OptimizePress. So you probably want to get those updated just because the pages have been much quicker. They're much more Google friendly. You can also edit them way easier than you can with the OptimizePress version, the older version. That would, if it was me and you're still running version 2 pages, obviously if you've got hundreds, then there's a bigger job, but I would get those converted over to the latest version immediately, or quicker than doing anything, but do that first.
Yeah, definitely.
Then focus on, because you'll have better marketing pages that'll be quicker. We have members but not working at this site. Okay, if they're not working this site, you don't need that plugin, I guess. Just start building it all. Just try and simplify what you've got. Don't get too hooked up in how many pages you've got and what they're doing. Try and visit your site as a customer and experience what they're seeing, and then try and look at it and say, well, can I navigate and can I find what I'm selling myself like a customer would? So try and visit it as a customer and see can you find a way to join this site. Are you given the right messaging? That should probably be your first sort of port of call, is to try and get the conversions or get the site looking right before they see a sales page. So quite a few questions there. And the thing about Paid Membership Pro is not working for me. You might be able to drop us a ticket with that. Obviously we can't support that, but if it's a conflict with what we're doing, we could investigate a bit. And if you're having issues generally with any site, just disable all the plugins and start enabling one at a time. Okay, next one. We also had a question from Vikram. He's not in here. He was asking about Razorpay, which is India's most popular payment processor. That is on our feature list. Vikram, if you're watching this back, Razorpay is on our feature request list. We know it's a huge payment network. We've got a few big updates we want to put into optimized checkouts before we look at other payment processors. So that is in our feature list. We saw that one earlier. We've had that a few times now. Next question is from Yvette. I think I did see her in the chat as well. So hello, Yvette. Question is, I find I'm nervous about enrolling for my membership program hosted by OP1 because I'm not a programmer right now. And so right now I'm manually enrolling, creating user logins, info, and emailing it to them one by one. I know there is a way to manually make this happen. Customer enrolls, emailed login info, triggers ESP, sends onboarding email sequence. It's a hurdle I've not been able to come since started with OptimizePress in 2012. Yvette, thank you so much for being a loyal customer, Yvette. Yes, I asked this crew. Okay, I use ThriveCart. She uses ThriveCart for checkout, ConvertKit for email, Optimize Member, now Optimize Mentor. So Optimize Member is completely different, but yeah, you're right. It's now Optimize Mentor. You won't be able to bring those. No integration there. And do I get the current license holder? Do I get that as a current license holder of OP member? We'll come to that question next. Yeah, so I take it you're using OptimizePress. You're still using OptimizePress 1. Is that right, Yvette? You've said here OP1. Are you talking about the original OptimizePress that you're using? I'm guessing you are.
I
You
think
knew exactly what you're typing.
maybe OP2 there, David.
Okay. Yeah, she says yes on a membership site. So she's just posting in chat here and it's the plugin. Okay, so firstly, great. You've got a membership program up and running, OptimizePress 1, and you've done it with Optimize Member as well by the sound of it. So that's awesome. Yeah, I don't know how many pages you've got on that site. Actually, this is kind of question I would love to actually really dig into and look at your site and go over it and see all stuff. It sounds like if you're manually creating users, that's just, you don't need to be doing that at all with the latest version. So Optimize Mentor will handle all that automatically. Optimize Checkout, if they're paying, that will all be done automatically. But it sounds like you're obviously nervous about switching over from the old stuff to the new stuff. So depending on how many pages you've got, that is the real big question here, is how many pages you've got on that site, because it's probably something you should look at doing, is getting that switched over like immediately to OptimizePress, to the newest version. So I'm just looking at your site here, the Minimalist Entrepreneur. Awesome. So yeah, that would be my first port of call, would be getting the pages redesigned in OptimizePress, the latest version of OptimizePress. So you get your main traffic pages converted over like immediately, ready to go live. You can obviously run them side by side, OptimizePress 1, 2, and 3. So you can run them side by side. What you want to do is rebuild them as soon as you can, the latest version, and then just turn off the other page and turn on the new one. Literally a case of changing the slug in the URL to be, I suppose I could show you this just quickly because it might make more sense. So I done this yesterday, literally on an old site of mine that just had to rename. What I'll do is I'll share my screen here. So if you are going to like rebuild sites and you want to change stuff around, this on a site here, if I was to go to, let's say we're in a page and you've rebuilt the new page, you've got your old page in OptimizePress 1 and you've rebuilt a new one in OptimizePress 2, what you've got to check is, I'm going to go into the quick edit menu here. This is probably not the most helpful because that's got let's check what this one is. You want to check what the slug of the page is, which is this bit. You need to know what that is. So if your new one is currently on your site, whatever you just shared, you've got 50 pages. Okay, you've got a little bit of work to do. I guess your main pages you've got to change. If those 50 pages are part of your core pages inside of OptimizePress, your membership pages, then you're going to have to do them all. Be much easier if you create just a template that you can work off, and then you clone that template every time you need to make a new one. But when you come to switch them live, you just got to make sure, say if this was the old page, just put a number 2 there like that and click update. And then on the new page that you'd built, you just go and make sure you've got your exact same URL, and then all the traffic will start going to that new page. That's all you have to do in terms of hiding the old one and making the traffic go to the new one. Just to rename this, so that's switching the pages live. Yeah, in terms of rebuilding stuff, then it sounds like you're going to have to, those old pages need to be rebuilt. If they're all course pages, again, they're going to need to be rebuilt. You could rebuild those in Optimize Mentor because you can use the templates we've already got built. We've got course module templates all built. So once you pick one of those, you could just clone that, for 50 times for all the other pages you need. And then it just sounds like it's quite a big project. You've got to switch over like an entire site over, but probably the work you do in that will save you so much time later, because all you're doing is manually. It's tiring when you have to manually create logins and things for people. That I know it's a lot of work to switch it over. Well worth doing rather than trying to start adding members manually. In your situation, that's quite a difficult one because it sounds like you need to have a full rebuild of the entire site just to get it up and running. But the switchover should be pretty straightforward.
Yeah, I agree with that. We also just released an integration with ThriveCart that just came out, I think, yesterday or the day before, for the Optimize Mentor plugin. So you could use our webhook in a product at ThriveCart, basically in their integration, however that works, to add a member from a product you sell on ThriveCart directly into Optimize Mentor, and then the logins will be sent to them directly through email. So it's a lot easier than the way that we had that work in OptimizePress 2.
I would probably even just start building the new site on like /new or some directory like that.
Yeah, and then you could use a plugin like all-in-one WP migration to make that site live on the main one too, if you wanted. Of course, we could help with some of that through support as well.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't even change the domain. I would just put another page like /new and then start putting the Optimize Mentor pages in that parent page of /new, and then just set up, get the payment, so all new members start going through into the new course, and then just slowly start moving over all the old content and all the old members. All the old members will have access. They should have access anyway if they're inside of inside the WordPress site. Yeah. Hopefully that gives you a bit of a route to go. She said switching over to Optimize Mentor with ThriveCart. It's a full integration. You don't have to manually do anything. It'll all be, they order ThriveCart, they get added in. Optimize the rules you have inside OptimizePress will set them onto Optimize Mentor, the content rules. And I would, the sooner you do it, the less it's a bit of work to do, but it'll save you a headache of having to add.
It's like 100 times easier than OptimizePress 2. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah, exactly what you've done so far with OptimizePress 2, you're going to find a doddle in Optimize Mentor. You're welcome, and we're happy if you stay with us. That's awesome. Yeah, so Optimize Mentor would be the best route to build that entire site. Everything, your landing pages, you just redesign those in the latest versions of OptimizePress rather than using the old one. Just build a new landing page, or your main landing page, your welcome page.
Mentors for courses and protecting pages on your site. You could actually protect the pages from OP2 with Optimize Mentor if you just want to start slow with that.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yes, this is quite a good. This would be a little project to dig into actually and show. This is, we'd probably have a few people doing this. Okay, let's move on to the next one. We've got there's a other question from, let's see who it got in here. There was a question from, I think, Ethel had asked a question. I know she's in here. I did see her. She'd asked about running webinars on the topic of, I think Ethel is still in here. Yes, she is. Ethel asked about running webinars on the topic of connecting your thank you. So she said, can you have a webinar for connecting your thank you page, webinar registration page, lead magnet, etc., to an Aweber list? So thanks for that, Ethel. I think we'll probably do a webinar on that. We do have a few videos that sort of cover the same process, but we know it'll probably help people. Generally for that, I would use a funnel. So you'd have a webinar funnel. I didn't make a slide for this one because I was really just going to, it was just a question about running a webinar. But I would probably use a funnel for that. Whatever email service you use, that doesn't really sort of matter with it. We have integration does the same. It puts them into that list. But Ethel, we will look at a webinar for that topic. So thank you for that. This one's from Yaz Kev. So let's see. Many sites nowadays have a page with sections on it, each with different color backgrounds and what you'd call in the old days of print full bleed to the edges of the screen. For people who don't know that, it's like a series of banners, each presenting some basic info, different services. How do I do that with OP? I can see how to add background to a whole page, but I don't know how to add these different colored sections / banners. Thanks. I don't want to use an automatic template. Yaz. I don't know if Yaz is in. I'll let you answer this one, Kev. You can.
All right. Let me share my screen here.
See if Yaz is in the room. Don't see her amongst these people. Let's have a look.
All right. So basically, what the question is how to add a background color to a section. So in the builder here, I'm going to add a new section. And as soon as that comes up, the first icon on the section is for the background options. And to set a background color, you just choose a color. I'll just choose a blue color here. And that's pretty much all you would do for that. Now we also have some pre-built sections here that may help as well. So for example, if I wanted to create a hero section, I don't know if we have one that's a solid color, but you could do something like this and just drag that section in.
Pink one below that.
And you've already got a section here, which it looks like we had the wrong color set, but you can still set pretty much any background color you want for that. So,
and that's full bleed as well, isn't it?
Oh, yes, it's 100%. Now, you could also set a color for the row inside of that section if you want to have like a little box, and you can change the width on that as well. So if you wanted to have like a sales copy with a white background, kind of like what this section was here, you could do that. So basically, if you see a section that you want to change the color to, you just click on over on the side, and then you'll see the section toolbar come up, and then you can go in and change that. You could also set background images, and also with the color, you could do gradients, things like that as well.
Awesome. Yeah, so I think like Yaz isn't on here, but yeah, so in that example, like Kev showed there, if you're trying to build, it probably is obviously great to, if you're reaching out to support and you want to ask a question, how do I build this? Just send them a screenshot if you can. That makes a whole world of a difference and speed it up. But like Kev showed, if you're trying to create sections and banners and things, probably just use our pre-built sections. You can delete stuff out of them and take stuff away. You don't have to use everything you see in that section. You can take stuff out of it and add to it. And my guess is that Yaz is trying to build sort of like block sections of a page that just have a little bit of info. They might have a call to action or like a quote or like a line, something that says this feature, or, you know, buy this now with some bold. Maybe she's got a headline or thinking of a headline. He or she, I'm saying she, I think it's a she. Like a headline with a button in it. Maybe that's the kind of section banner she's trying to build. But yeah, remember, a section always is 100%. And inside that, the default width is about 1440, I think it is, a row. And then you can go and adjust the row inside the section. The section's always 100%. So that's your full bleed. Give it a background color, you have the full bleed. And then the row inside it, you can also set that to 100%. That will be full width of the entire page.
Right.
Based off whatever device, or you can obviously shrink it down. I think for what Yaz is doing, she might be best to send us some pictures, because that would help us. We could just rebuild it quite easily. That's that one. So let's see. We've got one more here. This is from Francisco. I'm not sure if he is in the room. I did see a chat under with him. Let's have a look. How to install a template on a web page. If I want to install several templates on the I think that's the same domain or same website. I've copied and pasted questions there. How to install a template on a web page. If I want to install several templates on the same website, do I have to create subdomains? What do you say to that one, Kev?
I would say no, you don't have to create subdomains. Basically, installing a template would be, you're just going to pick a template from our template library, and then you would just choose what name you want for the page. So let me I'm going to exit out of this here and I'll show you. So if you go to OptimizePress and create new page, you can have as many of these on your site as you want to. So if I go to individual templates and say I want to do a landing page, and I want this landing page, when you click the use this template button, it'll ask you for the page title, and then that's going to be in the URL. So for example, if I just put test, I click create new page, once you actually publish the page, then it'll have its own URL on that site. So if I just exit out of here and then click publish, and you'll see the URL here in the permalink. So if I open that up, then that's just learnop3.com/test. So if I create another page and for the name of the page, I put Kevin's awesome webinar, then that would be the URL for that.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to have different domains and you want the homepage of that domain name, you can't have more than one homepage per site, basically. So in that case, you would need either subdomains or subfolders of your site to do that on.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm guessing that's what he was kind of. So yes, I think you've kind of answered it. You obviously you can run OptimizePress on subdomains. There's no harm. You can have multiple sites with running on, and you can share your templates through the cloud and stuff. But so templates, I think hopefully that's kind of answered it. If you want to install several templates on the same website, I'm guessing that's what he's unsure of. If you can install different designs on different, so every page name could have its own completely different web design.
Oh,
so you
yeah,
can have the
totally.
same domain. We had, let's have a look. We had a question from someone else that was, I think it's more of a support question from Catherine, or Cathricyan, I think it was. I don't know if I pronounced that name correctly. I don't know if he or she is in here. Let's have a look through. But we had a question technical, I think it was, when editing my pages, something wasn't loading properly, and I've cleared the cache and memory. So, yeah, I'll share my screen. If you have an issue with a page loading or something's not looking right, generally it will come down to either your browser caching stuff. Let me switch this over. So your browser will cache stuff, and then OptimizePress also has a cache built into it. So we've at the top here of every site, if you install OptimizePress, you've got this clear OP3 cache, and that will clear OptimizePress's cache on your site. Also, if you have other plugins that do clearing caching, that will also trigger those as well. I'm pretty sure that's right, isn't it, Kev? I know it used to do that, and I'm pretty sure it still does it.
Yep.
So if you have your hosting has a caching plugin, OptimizePress is going to trigger that one to go and clear, because some servers have caching plugins as well.
Yeah,
so
it depends on the cache plugin, but most of them we do offer support for as far as that goes.
Yeah. So if you're building pages and you're not seeing your changes come through, clear this cache, and then after that you've got to clear your browser cache. So I think I'm using Chrome on this one. So I'd need to go into my more tools menu of Chrome, which is probably not going to. Let me see if you can see that. If I try and open up more tools, go to clear browser data. So I'm going into the settings of my browser, and then I've gone into, so on the right-hand side, which didn't seem to be showing up on my slides there, I'm clicking the little dot menu on the top right, which I don't think you guys can see for some reason. And then it opens up my settings, and in here, I'm going to go and clear this one. I would check this box, cached images and files. If you choose cookies. Obviously, you're going to be logged out of all your sites you're logged in, but sometimes you do need to do that. I've had occasions when I've done that if I'm building like quite lengthy pages. But these two, if you just clear the cache, the images, and then you view the page, you should see it fine. That's not an OptimizePress issue. That's a browser issue that you'll find on pretty much any type of site that you build websites and pages for, if the site doesn't force the browser to clear the cache, which I don't think many do at all. So these are the kind of things you just want to come and do: clear your cache in, and from your browser. Also check it on another browser, because you might find even the browser's cleared, you've cleared all the cache, something's not right, but then you go and open up Firefox or the alternative browser and it's actually looking okay. So always do that when you're building pages. Just get in the habit. If you're trying to, if something's not, if you can't preview a change, you can't see a change, just come and clear your cache here. So do the OptimizePress one first, clear cache here, and then if that doesn't resolve it, go and clear the browser cache, and then you should see your changes come through. Let's see, Kev, I think we've gone through all these questions so far. Let's see, someone did post a question earlier at the top. Let me just switch back to that. Did see a question from someone. It's from Roy, who says, Roy, I think was possibly still on. Let's have a look. Roy, can I have a course that delivers the course content on a monthly basis after the customer pays the monthly subscription? I'll let you take that, Kev.
Yeah, you definitely can do that. That would be something that you'd want to use Optimize Mentor for. And let me just share the screen here real quick.
See if there's any other questions that people have posted.
Okay, so basically the drip schedules here are going to be based on when the member joins. So inside of your course, if you go to drip schedule, you can create a new one, and you select what membership that the drip schedule is going to be for. And the nice thing about this is, if say you have two memberships, one is where somebody will get full access immediately, and one is where somebody will drip the content over the course of weeks or months, or however you want to have that set up. So you can have the same course and only have to create it once, but you can have different memberships with different drip schedules accessing the same course, which is a very nice feature. But generally, to set this up, you just choose the membership, and the trigger event is you can do fixed date and time, membership registration, which is when they're added to the membership, or members registration, which is when they're actually created as a user on your WordPress site. This is not usually the best way. I would choose the middle one. So that's when they're added to this membership. And then we have a couple options here. You can do systematically or at custom intervals. But if you want to do monthly, then you can just choose maybe the modules monthly or the lessons, depending on how you want to have it set up. And then you can start it after module 1 or 2, or even after the first lesson. So if I wanted to release module 1 immediately and then module 2 after a month, then I would set it up like this. And then you can choose a specific day of the week, which is a little complex, but I think you're just fine leaving it at a month. And then you just simply click on the create new drip schedule. And then you can see that module 1 here unlocked at day 0. And then module 2 is at month 1. And then if you have more modules and lessons, you can go further with this as well.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, and as Kev said there, you can also have the beauty of that is that you can have you could have another membership. Say it was called, I don't know how many, in your example, whether you're constantly releasing new content every month. But what you might be able to do is you could have people buy a membership that brings them in. They get access to everything, or they pay for a year up front. And because of the way Optimize Mentor is set up, you can have multiple memberships that just do different things. So all the same course, all the same content, but you could have all these different memberships. If someone wants to pay a bigger chunk of money, you could just give them full access to your entire course. But the people who are paying maybe a lower stuff that's dripped out, they go into the drip schedule. So you've got the one course content, but you can have all these different pricing and complicated structures that, if you want them, that how people access your content. So that's the beauty of it. Actually, if you've got a big membership site, it's quite good for that. Like how you can choose and control how those members access that content, hundreds of different ways on loads of different pricing options, and based off products they buy and all that kind of stuff. So it's quite good. So yeah, monthly is a nice, if they pay monthly and you just release new content, doesn't matter if you release it weekly. Like if they're coming in monthly, they don't get access until that next sort of month of content. So good question. Yes, there wasn't actually any others, I don't think. I think the ones we sort of answered went on. And yes, there you go, Roy. Thanks. I cannot do this with Samcut. Yeah. So yeah, Samcut's, I think they've got a learning course platform. I've not tested it myself. I mean, it's a great tool for selling stuff, but yeah, we've built Optimize Mentor knowing on how people want to run courses with WordPress.
Yeah.
And what we've done with Optimize Member before.
We learned from the version 2 Optimize Member that with the drip schedules, they can be quite complex sometimes, and we had tons and tons of requests to how do you release the content fully to somebody if you want them to have the full access, and then others only have the drip schedule. Well, back then you had to clone your course and then have 2 different courses, and then it was kind of a mess.
Yeah, it gets messy. Brilliant. Adam says he's late to the party today. Can you please quickly clear up how members receive? Anyway, Adam, that's it over. I think we're finished.
Adam, you're the designated driver. We've all already partied out, man.
Yeah, Adam, we answered your question, first one, I think, out of the whole list. You can possibly watch the replay back. But there was actually Giuseppe's. Adam's question was here. We've answered this, Adam. Really, the login stuff is all done through Optimize Mentor and Optimize Checkouts. I will find the replay and I'll tell you the time when it comes up. But you can watch back. Yeah, Optimize Checkouts handles it. Optimize Mentor handles the email and stuff. But thanks for showing up, Adam, anyway. Much appreciated. But don't worry, we'll get the replay in there and you can watch it. We answered that one.
Yeah, I think it was within the first 10 or 15 minutes when we answered.
Yeah, it was pretty early. Kev, I think we're done. We've gone through those questions everyone submitted and the ones everyone's on here. We can probably wrap it up there with everyone. There's people putting in, should draft lessons not be seen? They are still showing when I click next. Angela, yeah, that's probably for you if you're admin.
Yeah, admin. It will show that.
Definitely for any of you guys and girls and people setting up membership sites, go and always create yourself a little test account under a dummy email address and go and log into the site on a different browser, and you'll experience it as your customers are. Always do that, because I did. That's the strange part. Okay, if there's probably a high chance they're not protected. So if you're still seeing, draft lessons can't be viewed. Any draft page, long as the page is, hold on. So I'm guessing an Optimized Mentor, you're saying you've not clicked publish, but it's draft. Okay, you've got a ticket in. We'll jump to that. Okay, brilliant. And she sent a loom. Brilliant. And
awesome.
A submit ticket and send loom. Excellent, Angela. Nice. We'll take a look at that.
We'll definitely take a look at that and see what's going on, because that shouldn't happen.
Yeah, that shouldn't be happening. So just make sure you give us the login credentials, we can dive in. Okay, we'll probably wrap it up there, everyone. Thank you so much for coming on our first office hours. Noah and Ione, tech support business. Okay, yes. Brilliant. We have, this is great. Anyway, at least thank you for showing up. At least you've got people who wanted to get their questions answered most of them are here as well. So it's really awesome. We'll probably be doing more of these every other week. And then, so if you have future questions, just register for them. They'll be on the site. We've put a link. There'll be links going out today. You'll be able to find them, or we'll post them in the Facebook group and stuff. But I think we've answered all the questions actually, Kev, that we have. So that's pretty good.
We got them all.
So we'll do another one. It'll be not next week, the week after. So jump on if you want questions. If you're doing stuff between now and then, write your questions down and get them ready to submit so we can answer them. And it doesn't matter how complicated they are, we'll sit and go through them. And some of them obviously are really good. Like Yvette's question is actually brilliant because it's a very real situation she's in, trying to upgrade a site, and she's got members active. So like if you've got your business site and they're working, you're getting leads and stuff, then and you need help with it, then just ask. We're here to help. Yeah, I think that's it, Kev. Thank you so much for coming on and helping as well, mate. That's much
definitely
appreciated.
It was a pleasure.
Antonella, you're welcome. Thank you for being here. Okay, we'll get this recording wrapped up and put into somewhere for you to access and view it, and you can watch it back. We really appreciate you taking out your time as well to be here. And Kev, much appreciated to you spending your day with us, or your evening as well. Sorry, your day. It's daytime there where you are, isn't it? So
Yep.
Nighttime for me here. Excellent. Okay, we'll wrap it up there. And anyone else has other questions, obviously you can reach out to us at support Facebook group. If you want us to look over any of your pages, your sites and things, please post them there. But yeah, we'll let you all go. Enjoy the rest of your day, your evening, wherever you are. Thank you so much. We'll be back soon with another webinar, and we'll be back with an office hours in 2 weeks' time. Same sort of time. Go to our site, and we will. You better see when the next one is coming. So good night, everyone, and have a good day.